Coming up on Second Edition News, with the warm winter coming to an end, just how will farmers manage this year's harvest?
NAIT hosted an international global village event with cultures coming together.
And if you're a local cat lover, then you might want to check out the new Cats of Edmonton book.
Hello and welcome to Second Edition News.
Farmers in Alberta are gearing up for the harvest season.
But the changing weather conditions have raised concerns about how their crops will be turning out. The warm winter in Alberta is creating challenges for farmers. Many predict a dry spring and summer will affect the quality of crops this year. Farmers worry the dry conditions will also bring more pests such as ticks and grasshoppers.
We do need some rain, I guess, for sure to wash them away and keep that away. And also we can spray, but the grasshoppers, and also last year for our harvest we had flea beetles that would eat the canola.
Garlow also says that if they have a dry summer, they will have to resort to less conventional tilling, which means less field work and more direct seeding. The dryness will also negatively affect their yield.
Edmonton's Metroline train is about to get a little less frustrating for everyday commuters. Edmonton City Council is looking to increase the frequency of the Metroline train at NAIT. They want to trim down the 15-minute wait for every train to only 10 minutes with hopefully zero delays for all traffic. This should make things more convenient for commuters.
I guess that'd be kind of nice. I mean, it means I don't have to wait quite as much at the Kingsway bus stop. But, I mean, it'll probably have quite a negative impact on all the drivers.
The project will continue to be monitored, but the city says the increase in speed could come into effect as early as the summertime. More proposals to improve the LRT system will continue.
NAIT celebrated cultural diversity on campus while hosting the International Global Village event.
1, 2, 3, Pakistan Zindabad!
The event took place on Thursday, showcasing a variety of different cultures. Booths were set up representing 13 different countries, with students, volunteers, and participants taking part. They were wearing traditional clothing, showing tutorials, trying food from 6 different countries, and networking with other international students.
It's an opportunity for students to come together, to showcase their culture, to share their cultures with other people, and also for students and staff at NAIT to get to know their community.
The events followed with students performing live in the Shaw Theatre. They showcased their home countries in different languages and cultural styles.
Grant McEwen hosted Africa Unite on Thursday. This is its second year at the university. African and Caribbean students hailing from 55 different countries came together to give back to their Canadian community. Guests were asked to wear traditional clothing and bring in items for the food bank. The theme of the night was Ubuntu, which is an old African proverb that believes in universal bonds of sharing that connects all of humanity.
This is the second year, so our theme for this year is called Ubuntu, which is a South African philosophy which means I am because we are.
Traditional African and Caribbean dishes were served for dinner, and the evening continued with live performances of singing, poetry, and dancing. The event had a turnout of over 200 people and collected a box full of donations.
The Edmonton International Cat Festival will be coming back this year, and for their 3rd anniversary, they've created something special.
So cute.
Linda Huang is the founder of the Edmonton International Cat Event and the co-founder for the Cats of Edmonton book. The book will feature 100 pages of cats from Edmonton and took over 36 hours of photography to complete. Linda is passionate about Edmonton and wanted to create something local for cat lovers.
And that was kind of the premise for the Cat Festival too. It was kind of like, oh, there's this cool cat event happening in the States or happening in Toronto. And it's like, well, what's stopping Edmonton from having its own cat festival or its own cat book?
Organizations such as the Humane Society will be benefiting from the sales of this book. The money will be going to the Cat Festival that takes place this May. The nonprofit event has raised $39,000 for the animal rescue organizations since it first launched in 2014.
The comic industry is always changing, and Happy Harbor Comics puts in the time and effort to accommodate and adapt to it. Comics have experienced ups and downs over the years, coming in and out of the spotlight. But now the industry appears to be establishing long-term stability and increasing the popularity of comics amongst people once again.
to what it is now, which is, you know, a healthy, robust, stable industry, which is attracting a new audience, becoming more inclusive. We have a digital portal on our website, so if people actually want to get all of the digital comics, they can actually order it through our website as well, which gives us a share of the sale.
NAIT's men and women competed in the CCAA Curling Championships.
And I hear the women did quite well, hey Angie?
Yes, that's right. The men and women competed, and the women were able to take home a medal. NAIT's women's team is back to hitting rocks at home after going to nationals. NAIT's women's team was in London, Ontario this weekend. They fell 7-2 to the Fanshawe Falcons in the second versus third semifinals and were able to sweep up the bronze medal in the CCAA National Championships.
I think we did very well. It was a very successful week for us. Going into it, I don't think we really knew what to expect.
While the women's team was able to take home a bronze, the men's team unfortunately did not place in nationals. Game 4 in round 2 of the AJHL playoffs between the Spruce Grove Saints and the Sherwood Park Crusaders took place in Sherwood Park last week, and Sherwood Park needed the win to stay alive. Middle of the first, Saints find the puck. Brandon Byro passes to Macklin Pachonsky to give the Saints a 1-0 lead. On to the second, Brandon Byro once again passes the puck to Tyler Bush, who is unlucky, but the Saints get the rebound. And Brandon Byro puts it away for his second point of the game. Still in the second, Crusaders defenseman Chris McKay gets a penalty for cross-checking, and he is not happy about it. Only 40 seconds later, and McKay is joined by Dexter McLeod, giving the Saints a 5-on-3 opportunity. However, they do not capitalize. Into the third, Saints are still leading 2-0. Josh Harris picks up the rebound and puts it in to make it a 3-0 lead. With over 4 minutes to go now, Crusaders pull their goalie to give them an extra attacker. Late in the third, Saints fans are singing a farewell song to the Crusaders. The Saints win the game 3-0 and sweep the series. They will go on to play the Lloydminster Bobcats on April 2nd in the North Division Finals. FC Edmonton is back in town after a 2-week preseason trip to Scotland, which was intended to fully immerse the players in the aggressive soccer culture of Scotland. During their trip, they were able to play in 4 matches and left with 3 wins and a tie.
Played some very, very good football in Scotland. It was really, really pleasing to see the type of work the guys are doing in possessing the ball. So I'm very, very happy where we're at the moment.
FC Edmonton is now looking towards the regular season, which will begin on April 2nd against Rayo OKC. It's a battle of the Kings in the first round of the playoffs, and Oil Kings are now back on home ice. The Oil Kings were able to sneak into the playoffs after winning a tiebreaker game for the last spot against the Medicine Hat Tigers. They are now up against the Brandon Wheat Kings in round 1. The Oil Kings started the playoffs in Brandon for the first 2 games and were able to win both. Game 3 was played last night at Rexall Place, and the Oil Kings lost 3-1.
Yeah, obviously going into that tiebreaker game, anything could have happened, and it probably wasn't the scenario that we would have wanted, but you know, it was a couple big games, and like I said, we're having fun with it, and we're staying hungry.
Games 4 and 5 will also be played here in Edmonton. Then, if needed, the Oil Kings will return to Brandon to finish off the series. And that's all we have for sports this week.
Thanks, Angie. We'll have to keep an eye on the Oil Kings. Let's see if they can repeat their 2014 championship win.
That's all for Second Edition News. Thanks for watching.
Hello and welcome to Cooking with Ernest. I'm Michael Diachuk and this is Chef Ben. Today we're going to be cooking some seafood up, and as a prairie boy, I don't really eat that much food from the ocean, so tell us, what do we have over here?
Well, today I'm cooking up some scallops.
Is there any prep work needed for that?
Very little. Usually when you buy scallops, there's a small little tab of muscle that when you cook it, it's really really tough.
Yeah.
And really tough to eat. So you want to make sure you pull those off. They usually come out of the shell already, so they're good to go. Yeah, so what we'll do here,
let's get started.
You want to get your pan nice and warm. Put in a little bit of butter.
What's the temperature on for the?
You want to have a medium to high heat.
Medium to high.
Yeah, you don't want to have it too hot, but you don't want to have it super low either.
Yeah.
Because basically with scallops, what you want to do is just sear them.
Yeah.
So you'll put these in.
Oh wow. Sizzling away already.
Throw a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Scallops tend to be a very like plain Jane fish. There's not much flavor to them. So with the salt and pepper, you're adding a bit more to it.
So a simpler food to cook at home too.
Oh no, for sure, yeah. And the thing about scallops is they're not overly expensive either. They're not too bad.
So if you're on a budget, that you can kind of still cook that gourmet supper for your girl.
For sure, for sure. I want to impress. You got some scallops like that. And you want to get them nice and brown.
These are looking really golden. And so what do we have for dips over here, the sauce?
Right here I have a beurre blanc, which is basically just a reduced wine. You slowly whisk in your butter, and then I just add a little bit of thyme in here.
Oh wow. So is there any other sauces that you'd be able to sub in instead of this one?
Beurre blanc is usually your most popular sauce. Yeah. You can also add in some hollandaise would be a good option. Or, you know, you can just eat them plain.
I can't complain about that. Simple is key.
Yeah, for sure. So these are about done.
All right, let's get those on the pan. Oh, wow.
So, a little bit of beurre blanc on
That
top.
looks delicious. For more of these recipes, tune into NAIT, newswatch.ca, and click on Second Edition tab. Thanks for watching.